I said your name, not loudly, not for the world to hear, but with the kind of weight that changes a life. When I called you my queen, it wasn't poetry. It was truth settling into place. Some words are crowns, once spoken. They don't disappear. They stay, they protect, they commit. In that moment, I didn't promise perfection. I promised presence. I didn't claim power. I chose devotion. Saying your name was me choosing you, fully, quietly, forever. Said your name the way a man speaks when he finally understands what he has been walking toward his whole life. Not rushed, not dramatic, not borrowed from movies or stories, but earned. Your name came from a place in me that had learned silence, patience, and loss before it learned certainty. When I said it, the world didn't stop. Nothing exploded, but something aligned. The noise inside me settled. The questions stepped back. The wandering ended. Some people say names are just sounds, but they've never spoken one that carries responsibility. I didn't say your name to own you. I said it to stand beside you. I said it knowing that a queen isn't crowned by words, but by the way she is protected, respected, and chosen even on the days when love is quiet and heavy. Calling you my queen was not about lifting you above others. It was about lowering my ego. It was about recognizing that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it listens. I saw the way you carry yourself when no one is watching, the way you endure without asking for applause, the way your softness hides a will that doesn't break. Saying your name was my acknowledgement that I see all of it, the fire and the calm, the certainty and the fear, the grace under pressure. When I said it, I accepted the duty that comes with it, the duty to be steady when the ground shakes, to be honest when silence would be easier, to stay when leaving feels lighter. I didn't rehearse the moment. It arrived because it was ready. Your name didn't come from my mouth, it rose from my chest. It carried every moment that tested me, every time I learned what love is not, every time I mistook intensity for depth. By the time I said your name, I knew the difference. Love isn't loud promises, it's quiet consistency. It's showing up even when there's nothing to gain. It's choosing the same person again after seeing their flaws clearly. When I called you my queen, I wasn't imagining a throne. I was imagining mornings, patience, shared silence, and standing with you when the world feels too sharp. A queen doesn't need to be rescued. She needs to be recognized. I recognized you in the way you speak truth without cruelty, in the way you hold your ground without turning cold, in the way your presence changes the temperature of a room without demanding attention. Saying your name was me stepping into alignment with that truth. It was me deciding that love is not a performance, it's a practice. That commitment isn't about control, it's about care. That loyalty isn't proven by jealousy, but by trust. When I said your name, I accepted that love would ask more of me than comfort. It would ask for growth. It would ask me to unlearn habits that protected me when I was alone, but would wound us together. Calling you my queen was me agreeing to that work. Not because I am perfect, but because I am present. Not because I have all the answers, but because I am willing to listen. Your name became a compass. It pointed me toward patience when anger was easier, toward humility when pride tried to speak first. I said your name knowing that a crown isn't something you give once, it's something you honor every day in how you speak, in how you stay, in how you protect what is sacred between two people in a world that treats love like something disposable. When I said it, I wasn't asking the world to witness it. I was asking myself to live up to it. I didn't choose you in a moment of excitement. I chose you in stillness, in the quiet spaces where truth doesn't need witnesses. Love for me has never been about fireworks. It's about weight, the kind that settles into your chest and doesn't leave. When I said your name and meant it, I understood that strength doesn't announce itself. It stands, it waits, it remains. You didn't demand my loyalty, you inspired it. There's a difference. One is fear, the other is respect. I saw how you move through life without needing to prove a thing, how you hold your dignity, even when it would be easier to drop it, how you carry pain without letting it turn you bitter. Quiet strength isn't weakness, it's restraint. It's knowing you could react but choosing to respond. I saw that in you before I ever spoke your name the way I did. You don't chase validation. You don't borrow confidence. You own your presence without asking permission. That kind of power doesn't shout. It changes the room without speaking. When I called you my queen, I wasn't elevating you above reality. I was acknowledging the way you already move within it. Calm, grounded, unshaken. I've lived long enough to know that loud love fades fast. It burns hot, then leaves ash. What lasts is quieter. It's built in choices no one claps for, staying when things get ordinary, listening when silence is uncomfortable, being gentle when pride wants to harden your voice. The love I feel for you lives there, in the steady places, in the pauses between words, in the understanding that we don't need to be everything to the world, just real with each other. You don't rule by command, you lead by example, by the way you treat people when you gain nothing from it, by the way you remain kind without being naive, by the way you protect your heart without closing it. That balance is rare. It takes strength to stay open in a world that rewards armor. When I said your name, I accepted that loving you means matching that strength, not overpowering it. Walking beside you, not ahead. Standing with you, not over you. There's a calm that comes from knowing who you've chosen. Not because the future is guaranteed, but because the foundation is honest. With you, I don't feel the need to perform. I don't need to exaggerate my feelings to make them real. They're already rooted. They show up in how I think of you when you're not there, in how your presence softens me instead of challenging my worth, in how your silence doesn't scare me because it's full, not empty. Calling you my queen was also a reminder to myself that love isn't about taking center stage. It's about sharing space, letting two strengths exist without competition, letting two histories meet without erasing each other. I don't want to conquer love. I want to build it, brick by brick, day by day. With patience that doesn't keep score and loyalty that doesn't need to be tested. You don't need me to complete you. And that's exactly why I choose you. Because what we build isn't based on lack, it's based on decision, on waking up and choosing the same direction even when the road is uneven. When I speak your name now, it carries all of that, the stillness, the resolve, the understanding that real power doesn't dominate, it endures. Loyalty doesn't announce itself. It doesn't ask to be seen or praised. It lives in decisions made when no one is watching. When I said your name and called you my queen, I understood that loyalty is not a promise spoken once. It's a posture you carry every day. It's how you speak about someone when they're not in the room. It's how you protect what's sacred without turning it into a spectacle. I didn't say your name to mark a moment. I said it to mark a direction. Forward. Together. Steady. I've learned that real devotion is quiet because it's secure. It doesn't panic at distance or doubt at silence. It trusts the ground it stands on. With you, loyalty feels natural, not forced. I don't stay because I'm afraid of losing you. I stay because I know the value of what I've chosen. There's a calm confidence in that. The kind that doesn't need to check or control. The kind that allows two people to breathe and still remain connected. Noise has never protected love. Attention hasn't either. What protects love is intention. The intention to show up even when it's inconvenient. The intention to listen instead of winning. The intention to choose understanding over reaction. When I call you my queen, it's a reminder that loyalty means I guard the space between us. I don't let the world trample it. I don't invite chaos where peace belongs. I don't entertain what could weaken what we're building. Loyalty is also patience. It's allowing growth without punishment. It's understanding that people evolve, and love has to be strong enough to grow with them. I don't expect perfection from you. I respect your humanity. And in that respect, loyalty becomes mutual, not demanded. You don't owe me obedience. You offer me trust, and I protect it by being consistent, by being honest, even when the truth is uncomfortable, by being present when distraction would be easier. I've seen what happens when love is loud but shallow. It collapses the moment things get real. I don't want that. I want something that lasts because it's built right. Loyalty is the structure, not control, not fear, not obligation, just a clear decision repeated over time. You don't have to wonder where I stand. My actions answer before my words do. When I said your name, I accepted that loyalty also means restraint. It means knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, when to step forward and when to stand back. It means choosing dignity over impulse, respect over ego. There will always be noise outside, opinions, temptations, distractions dressed as opportunities. Loyalty is recognizing them for what they are and walking past without resentment, without regret. You don't need grand gestures to feel secure with me. You need reliability. You need to know that when things get heavy, I won't disappear. That when life tests us, I won't flinch. Loyalty is being solid when emotions fluctuate, being rooted when storms come, being the same man in private that I am in public. Calling you my queen was also me placing a standard on myself, a standard of behavior, of integrity, of self-control. Because loyalty starts inside before it ever reaches another person. If I can't govern myself, I can't honor you. If I can't be disciplined with my choices, I can't protect what we share. So loyalty becomes a daily practice, in thoughts, in actions. In the quiet moments that define character more than words ever could, there's strength in knowing where you belong. Not because you're trapped, but because you're committed. That's what loyalty feels like with you. Not a cage, a foundation, something solid enough to stand on while the rest of the world keeps moving. When I speak your name now, it carries that weight. Not dramatic, not loud, just true. A crown isn't something you place on a head once and walk away, it's something you honor in the way you live. When I called you my queen, I understood that presence matters more than proclamations. Being there isn't about proximity alone, it's about attention. It's about choosing to stay engaged even when life pulls hard in different directions. I don't want to love you from a distance made of excuses. I want to be close in the ways that count, in listening, in patience, in the discipline of showing up as the same man day after day. Trust isn't built by intensity. It's built by consistency, by doing what you said you would do long after the feeling that inspired it has softened. Presence is the language trust understands peace. I say your name now. It carries the weight of that responsibility. To be alert to your needs without trying to control them. To be strong enough to support you without overshadowing you. To be steady when uncertainty tries to creep in. Love doesn't need constant reassurance when it's grounded. It needs reliability. It needs someone who doesn't vanish when things slow down. I don't believe in love that rushes ahead of itself. I believe in love that walks at a human pace, that notices when the other person needs space and when they need closeness. Presence is knowing the difference. It's being aware enough to adjust without resentment. When I called you my queen, I wasn't claiming ownership. I was committing to awareness, to paying attention, to honoring the reality of who you are, not the idea of you. A real crown is heavy. It comes with responsibility. It asks for judgment, restraint, and courage. Loving you asks the same of me. To choose calm over reaction, to choose understanding over assumption, to choose the long view when short-term comfort tempts me. Presence means I don't disappear into myself when things get difficult. I stay reachable. I stay open. I stay willing to work through what matters, instead of walking away from it. There's a quiet intimacy in being fully present, in shared silence that doesn't feel empty, in moments where nothing needs to be fixed or explained, just felt. I want to give you that, a place where you don't have to perform, where you don't have to be strong all the time, where you can rest without worrying that everything will fall apart if you do. Presence is protection, not from the world, but from loneliness within the relationship itself. I know that life will test us in ways we can't predict. That's not a flaw, that's reality. What matters is how we stand when it happens. Presence means I don't outsource my commitment to convenience. I don't wait for perfect conditions to be the man I said I would be. I show up now, in the ordinary days, in the routines, in the moments that don't look like memories yet but become them later. When I say your name, I want it to feel safe, familiar, grounded, not dramatic, not uncertain. I want it to mean that I am here, not halfway, not distracted, not preparing an exit, just here, with you. Choosing this, choosing us. Presence turns love from an emotion into a place you can stand without fear. A place that doesn't shake every time the world changes. A place built on attention, respect, and the quiet decision to remain.